Hello, class. My name is Latricia Roaches. Today, I'm going to be discussing the interview that I had with Mr. Matthew Sutton. Matthew Sutton is a juvenile probation officer. He started off as a criminal investigator, and he felt like that was not his passion. So he actually went into juvenile probation, which is a completely different route. I met Mr. Sutton through one of the police officers that I've known for years from working at Starbucks, Phil Clark. So let's get into it. So one of the first questions that I asked Mr. Sutton is if faced with violence from a juvenile, how would you handle this? And I asked this question because I feel that sometimes I let my emotions get involved when it comes to children or adolescents or whatever you want to call them, because that the parent side of me comes out. So I just wanted to see how he would react to that. And he said there's no right or wrong answer to that question. He says that he would make sure to articulate to the juvenile that it's unacceptable to strike at a resident or disrespect the resident, and to let them know that there are alternative ways to handle their anger. He also said that he would try to restrain and calm them down, and he has to remember himself that they are children, because sometimes their reactions are not that of a child. They have adult minds, or what they think are adult minds, so that they react in a certain way. So he has to remember that he's the adult, he's in charge, and he has to put them back in that place. And I learned a lot from that. You're not the parent. You are their probation officer. You are the authority figure. The next question that I asked was, what would you do to prepare yourself for court? Because many juvenile probation officers and or probation officers have to go to court and present paperwork, present progress. And his answer was, I make sure that I have prepared all the necessary documents for the court case and know how to reference them at a particular time. Um, and I asked him, how do you deal with like upset parents, especially in the courtroom? And that's something that a lot of probation officers have a hard time dealing with, is the parents, because some parents don't understand the process, or feel like they don't have a troubled child, or whatever the case may be. Mr. Sutton said, I would explain to the parent that the probation program is very successful and that is the best thing for their child. He said, I would help them through their troubled times as best as I could. And I feel like that was the best answer, and giving the parents as much information as possible so that they can be able to get through this process without so many emotions behind it. Another question I asked is, how do you prioritize your management skills with such many different caseloads? How does he prioritize? And he said, I'm very easy, straightforward. I use common sense. Um, he also says that I prioritize my projects that have the nearest deadline. So he has to put that case first in a way. I don't know how to really explain it. But whatever case it is coming up next is the way that he's going to have to prioritize. He can't put one child over another, especially when it comes to the courtroom settings. My last question is, how do you handle an abused child? And that was a really difficult question for me, because of personal experiences, and one of the reasons that I chose to get into juvenile probation is, because of that situation. But what Mr. Sutton says, he says, I watch my tone. I try to get them to open up. I let them know that this is a safe place and I'm here to protect them. After really sitting down and really getting to know Mr. Sutton, it made me even more interested in becoming a juvenile probation officer, because it's far more than just a job or a career. It becomes a lifestyle, and you make a big impact on these children if you do it right. Because some of these children don't have parents or figures that they can look up to. So as a juvenile probation officer, I want to be that one that they can look up to and that I can make a difference. Thank you guys for your time.